You think you're being loving. Your dog thinks otherwise. There are things you do every single day, things that feel completely natural to you that your dog quietly dreads. Not because they don't love you, but because dogs and humans speak entirely different languages, and most owners never learn the difference. By the time this video ends, you'll see your dog's behavior in a completely new way, and you'll probably feel a little guilty. Let's start with the one that surprises people most. 1. Hugging them. You've done it 100 times. Wrapped your arms around your dog and squeezed. It feels like the most natural expression of love in the world, to you. But here's what's actually happening from your dog's perspective. Dogs do not hug. It is not a behavior that exists anywhere in canine communication. In fact, placing a limb over another dog's back or shoulders is a dominance signal. It means I am above you. I am in control. When you hug your dog, they often experience a conflict between two powerful forces at once. They love you, and their instincts are telling them something threatening is happening. Watch your dog carefully the next time you hug them. Look for whale eye, where the whites of their eyes become visible. Look for a stiff body, a tucked tail, a turned head, a frozen posture, or ears pinned back. These are stress signals, and most owners miss every single one of them because they're too busy enjoying the hug. Studies using behavioral analysis have shown that the majority of dogs display at least one stress response when hugged by their owners. The dog tolerates it, they endure it, because they love you. But enduring something is not the same as enjoying it. There's a better way to show your dog you love them, and I'll get to that before this video is over. 2. Making direct eye contact like it's a good thing. You've been told to look your dog in the eyes, that it builds trust, that it's a sign of connection. And in some contexts, after years of bonding, it can be. But here's what most owners don't understand. In the animal world, a hard, sustained stare is not warmth. It's a threat. When a stranger, or even someone your dog doesn't fully trust yet, locks eyes with them and holds that gaze, your dog reads it as a challenge. It's the same signal two dogs use when they're deciding whether to fight. Their body tenses. Their stress hormones rise. They look away not because they're being submissive or shy, but because they're trying to de-escalate. They're offering a peace signal, and you keep breaking it by staring again. The difference between a comforting gaze and a threatening one comes down to context, softness, and trust built over time. If you want to communicate safety to a dog, especially one you've just met, look slightly away. Blink slowly. Let them approach you. This is how dogs say, "I mean no harm." And if you're the kind of person who actually wants to understand what your dog is telling you, you're already ahead of most owners. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the rest. 3. Patting them on the top of the head. This one is almost universal. Someone meets a dog, reaches out, and pats them right on top of the skull. The dog looks uncomfortable. The person does it again. It happens constantly, and almost no one questions it because it looks friendly from the outside. But put yourself in the dog's position. A hand is coming at your face from above. You can't fully see it. You can't track it well because it's in your blind spot. And when it lands on one of the most sensitive and instinctively guarded parts of your body. Dogs don't naturally touch each other on top of the head as a greeting. That motion, fast, from above, landing on the skull, mimics the kind of contact that happens in a dominance interaction. Even well-socialized dogs will often lean away, duck slightly, or shut their eyes when you pat their head. They're not being dramatic. They're reacting to a gesture that feels, at best, tolerable, and at worst, mildly threatening. If you want your dog to actually lean into you, scratch them under the chin, along the chest, or behind the ears at the base of the skull, not on top of it. The difference in their body language will be immediate and unmistakable. 4. Talking to them like they understand your words. You do this. Everyone does. Long, detailed monologues directed at a dog who is staring at you with absolute sincerity. And there's nothing wrong with talking to your dog. The tone of your voice carries real information they respond to. But here's where it goes wrong. When owners rely on words and ignore everything else, dogs get confused. Because your dog is not primarily listening to what you say. They are reading your body, your posture, your energy, the tension in your shoulders, whether you're facing them or turned away, whether you're leaning in or leaning back. Research into canine cognition has shown that dogs are extraordinarily sensitive to human body language, more sensitive, in some areas, than even our closest primate relatives. They watch us with a level of attention that most people never earn from another human being. So when your words say one thing and your body says another, your dog follows your body every time. The problem is, most owners don't realize they're sending mixed signals. You say stay in a calm voice, but your body is tense and leaning forward. Your dog moves. You think they're being stubborn. They were just reading the clearest signal available you. 5. Forcing them to be petted by strangers. Someone reaches out their hand toward your dog. Your dog pulls back slightly, looks away, or shifts their weight. And you say, "It's okay. They're friendly, and guide your dog forward anyway. This happens at parks, on sidewalks, in the homes of people your dog has never met. And it happens with the best intentions. But what your dog experiences in that moment is something they'll remember. They communicated discomfort clearly and in their own language, and that communication was overridden. Dogs are not obligated to like every person they meet. They are allowed to feel uncertain. They are allowed to need more time. And when they're pushed past that boundary repeatedly, something shifts. Some dogs become more anxious around strangers over time, not less, because they've learned that expressing discomfort doesn't actually protect them. Others become reactive, not because they're bad dogs, but because the polite signals were ignored so many times that they escalated to the only signal that actually worked. A dog that growls is a dog that's been cornered past the point of subtlety. The growl is not the problem. The problem started long before it, every time the quieter signals went unanswered. 6. Being inconsistent with the rules. Your dog is not trying to manipulate you. They are trying to understand you. And this might be the hardest one to hear, because it's the most common, and it comes entirely from love. You let them on the couch on Sunday when you're relaxed. You push them off on Monday when you're tired and stressed. You ignore the jumping when you get home because it's cute, then scold them for jumping on a guest. You give table scraps sometimes, then wonder why they beg every single night. To you, these are small, situational decisions. To your dog, they are a system they are desperately trying to decode. Dogs thrive on predictability, not because they're simple, but because consistency is how they feel safe. When the rules shift without warning, when the same behavior gets rewarded one day and corrected the next, it creates a low-level anxiety that never fully goes away. They spend their energy trying to read your mood, trying to guess which version of the rules applies right now, trying to figure out what you actually want. And that mental load, that constant uncertainty, is exhausting for an animal whose entire world is you. The most loving thing you can do for your dog isn't a treat or a toy or an extra walk. It's being someone they can predict. Someone whose yes means yes and whose no means no every time, regardless of your mood. That's not rigidity, that's safety. And your dog has been waiting for it longer than you know.